What is the basics elements construction contract administration? A contract is a written agreement, enforceable by law, between a procuring entity and a supplier, contractor or service provider for the provision of goods, works and services. Contract administration involves all activities related to the monitoring of suppliers, contractors and service providers' performance in the fulfillment of their contractual obligations, and to ensure appropriate actions are taken to promptly remedy any deficiencies observed in contract implementation, scope or terms and conditions. Where does it start? Preparation for contract administration begins with planning, which should begin during the bidding and selection process. This planning includes the nomination of contract administrators, a strategy for undertaking periodic performance review, the timeframe for certifying performance and acceptance of contract deliverables in order to avoid payment delays, and an understanding of the contract terms and conditions to ensure effective oversight. Although the actual planning begins during the selection process, contract administration actually starts upon the signing of the contract, which is the point at which the parties to the contract are bound by its terms and conditions. Who is responsible? The procuring entity would usually appoint staff members or, preferably a team of qualified individuals, to take the responsibility of administering the contract. It is the responsibility of the contract administrator to perform the obligations and duties of the procuring entity specified in the contract and to ensure the suppliers, contractors and service providers implement the contract in accordance with its terms and conditions. Nonetheless, the supplier, contractor or services provider, has the primary responsibility to ensure that the goods, works or services meet the required standards and to advise on the need for any changes as a result of constraints faced during contract implementation. Where does it end? Contract administration generally concludes with a final inspection and acceptance of the goods, works or services prior to the completion date or termination of the contract. The inspection and verification, prior to acceptance, should ensure as a minimum that the correct quantity has been received, the goods, works or services meet the technical standards defined in the contract, any variations to the contract are well documented and accounted for, the goods, works or services have been delivered or completed on time, or that any delay has been noted and appropriate actions taken as indicated in the contract, and all required manuals or documentation have been received.